So let's have a look at the first part of Super Sunday, where Burnley take on Chelsea. Obviously Chelsea at the moment, the runaway leaders in the Premier League, but Burnley's home form has been absolutely outstanding. 28 of the 29 points have come at home. The away form, obviously not so great. And I'd just like to look at the differences when Burnley are playing at home and when they are playing away. The setup's very much the same. You know, they will play a 4-4-2 home and away. Obviously, there could be a number of changes for Burnley. Westwood possibly coming in for Hendrick, who's suspended. And obviously as well, Ward, there'll be question marks over him at full-back as well, possibly with Brady coming in. So it'll be interesting to see how the lineups. But more often than not, like I say, they play a 4-4-2. Now, if we look at their away form, how they go about things, like I say, they play with the two up front. So you have Barnes and you have Gray. The problem is, away from home, the other team are the ones that are usually on the front foot. So what you do, you push the forwards, even push the midfielders. Obviously, Kante not so far. You have Pedro, you'd have Moses, Matic, and you bring these three forward. And then Alonso as well. So what you find, like I say, when Burnley are playing away, they play very, very deep. So the problem is that these two players, they become isolated. There's a big gap in between the midfield and the forwards for them to try and get up and support. So more often than not, the ball keeps coming back at Burnley. And one of the interesting things is as well, the possession stats for Burnley. Out of the 10 lowest possessions that they've had this season, 7 of them have come at home. And that's because away from home, because these two centre-forwards are isolated, it becomes very difficult for them to play the long ball. So what they're having to do is try and play out from the back. They lose the ball a lot of the time in their own half, and the opposition then have the opportunity to take advantage of it. Whereas, if we look at their home form, the way they go about things at home, they're on the front foot. So we talk about Barnes and we talk about Gray, still playing the same roles up front. You know, you might get a little bit, you know, Barnes playing a little bit deeper, Gray looking to get in behind. But because Burnley are on the front foot, it means that the likes of Arfield, he'll come in narrow. You might have Westwood or Barton, depending on who it is, joining up. And then you'll have Boyd as well. Your full-backs will get forward as well. And then your centre-halves. So because Burnley are on the front foot at home, their possession is less because they're not having to play in their own half. They know how they want to go about things. And because they are on the front foot, they're getting the ball up quicker to the likes of Gray and Barnes, and then they can play the second balls. And we've seen the likes of Barton wants to try and get involved. You'll have Arfield getting involved. You'll have Boyd getting involved, and Hendrick as well. At times we've seen Hendrick, obviously, he's missing from this game through suspension, but you've actually seen him getting beyond the front two. And that, for me, is why Burnley is so strong at home. Not necessarily the way that they set up, because, like I say, the two setups are very, very similar. But the simple fact, at home, they're on the front foot. They take the game to the opposition. Away from home, the onus is on the opposition. So Burnley is sitting back and your two front men are getting isolated. I'm really looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be a real test for Chelsea. They've got the physicality at the back that can probably deal with the balls put into the box. But I think Burnley will run them really close. And wouldn't be surprised to see a shock in this game, given Burnley's home form. So like I say, it's a really interesting game and one I'm looking forward to.